I was dreaming the other day about a game designer, and I decided that if I were going to develop a game, it would be about
Fast cars, loose women, big guns, and lots of things to blow holes in that aren't protected by the ACLU?
No, actually, I was thinking elevators.
Elevators?
You know, how you're always waiting for them and wishing that whoever was responsible for programming them wasn't such a moron. And wouldn't it be fun if you could build your own building and finally make elevators work the way they're supposed to? Isn't that a great idea for a game?
Oh yeah, I'm wetting myself in excitement.
Then I discovered that I didn't have to design this game, because Maxis beat me to it. It's called SimTower.
Much the way that their other games are called SimCity, SimHealth, SimRealtor, like that.
Exactly. SimTower purports to be a building simulation, but it's actually a game about elevator management.
Does it come with appropriate music?
Thankfully, no.
You do have to build stuff in this game, yes?
Absolutely. First, you build a lobby. Then you can build stuff on top of the lobby.
Like what?
Well, like office space, fast food joints, or condos. Manage them correctly, and these will generate money for you.
What's managing them correctly involved?
Basically, making sure the little sim people that live and work in these places can get to and from them.
In other words,
Elevator management.
What exactly can you do with an elevator?
Well, you can restrict it to certain floors. You can set which floor it waits at when it isn't moving. You can set it to run express to the top or bottom. You can tell it how many floors a stopped elevator will go to pick up someone who is waiting if there isn't a car nearby that's already in motion. You can tell it how long to wait to let passengers get on before departing. And most of these properties can be set independently for each of 6 time periods throughout the day, with different settings for weekdays and weekends.
Doesn't look like there's an easy way to set them all at once, though.
Nope. If you want to set all elevators to wait 30 seconds before closing their doors during all periods of the day, you have to set each value independently.
Lame. Someone should have told the designers that micromanagement is only fun when it's easy.
If you fail to keep the elevators running smoothly, your Sims will start to stress out, first turning pink and then red as their blood pressure rises. Keep stressing them out repeatedly and they'll grow unhappy, move out of your building, and say bad things about you to their friends. On the other hand, if you keep them happy, your construction will accumulate prestige, growing toward a 5-star rating, and ultimately, the holy grail of architecture, the tower designation.
So talk to me about building. One thing I noticed is that you can't click and drag to fill a floor with anything other than lobby space. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it already works for placing lobby sections. Why not for offices, condos, and so on? Placing each unit by hand gets to be a real pain, especially since the clock is ticking away while you do it.
Anything else annoying about the interface?
No, it's mostly okay. Wait, no, there is one other thing. On the balance sheet for your tower, they didn't have room for all the values of the numbers for income and expenses, so they abbreviated them.
What's wrong with that?
The smallest sum you can spend is $100, so they divided the values by 100, whacked 2 zeros right off the end.
That's pretty counterintuitive. Why didn't they just go the extra mile and divide by 1,000? They'd have to stick in a decimal for some of the values, but still.
I know. At least you'd be able to read it without calling a major conversion subroutine in your brain.
Well, we've bashed the interface pretty hard, but is the game any fun at all?
Actually, it is, but the interface could really use an overhaul. It'd be nice to see some simplifications to the controls for programming elevators, seeing that they're the focus of the entire game. Why can't I simply tell my elevators what to do in some language that resembles English? I mean, floors closer than moving cars is explained in the manual and in a README file that accompanies the game. But I'm still not sure I understand exactly what it means.
Sounds to me like Maxis realized that it was obscure, but blew off making it easier to understand in favor of trying harder to make you understand it.
Exactly. I like SimTower, but I'd like it a lot more if programming the elevators wasn't as complicated as doing your taxes. Going down,